How many fans? How much?
19,000.
19,000 fans, man. So you know, it's fun. You know, when they call your name. That was my first time actually ever having me. So
On any arena, in anything?
Nah, when I was in high school and college, it was a little different. But when I got to the pros, it's never been about me. You know, I've always been a role player type of guy. You know, team mentality type of guy. So to hear that, you know, for the first time, it was fun.
Hola, Bobito.
That's what I say when I roll with my peoples. Bobby Portis, baby.
Take note.
Big Beach. We're here.
My man, Alan.
It's different this time. Terry and Trey here, and yes, the Knicks finally got a win. I called it at the beginning of the game, even when we were down by quite a lot. I said that we will. Hello. I said that we would get the win, and we got the win.
I'm sweating.
So
Why am I sweating?
He's been sweating like the last half of the game.
Bobby Portis, let's go.
Let's go.
That's what we're talking about. Woo, woo. Garden is rocking. I love it. I can't believe it. I'm sweating. I'm drenched in sweat. It's like I played 30 minutes.
I think you did. You were running around the house.
Listen. I was playing defense with Frank. I was right there. 105-98. Knicks beat the Bulls.
Yeah. Finally, we got a win. So we are now
1-3. But listen. Honestly, after everything that happened last week, the last game, the booing, the drama, everything. We're gonna talk about that near the end of this, but. Really good. They needed a win. They needed a win for morale. And what a flip from the Garden. You go from the Garden being vilified for something very bad, the booing and everything, to
all the support, all the cheering,
Bobby Portis chants. That's New York for you, isn't it? They love you when they love you and they hate you when they hate you.
It sure is. And they're going to be loud about whatever their sentiments are at the time.
And when they love you, they're going to let you know. The Garden chanted Bobby Portis' name tonight, and my guy showed out. This night belongs to Robert Portis coming against his former team. Do you even get into the stats? Do you even give it? Bobby Portis
I think we
tonight.
did say that he got 28 points, right?
Yeah, 28 points. Listen to this. Insane night for Bobby Portis, actually. And good for him to see. 28 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, had a couple of nice ones. 4 for 4 from 3. That's 100%. Yeah. That's pretty good last I heard.
Yeah. Kicks it out, Portis. Portis the fake, steps back, 3-pointer, bang! First. Randle kicks it out, Portis tries again, puts it in! Bobby Portis does it again!
Coming in, a lot of issues about Fizz, and he plays this lineup. And again, we're just seeing a lack of spacing with the starting unit. We're seeing everyone trying to get into the paint. Seeing Julius Randle, Mr. Fumble and Bumble. Actually, Trey kind of showed us a little bit of what he's doing.
Lost the ball. Who am I? Julius Randle. But here's the deal what's happening. In the first quarter, we're seeing everyone just tied up all up in the paint. There's no spacing and there's no one on the floor to shoot.
Yeah. So
we already know that we're at a disadvantage there. We already know that we have a somewhat a better defensive team when
at
the
times,
right players are out there.
Right.
And we know that we don't really have shooters. These guys are going to get there, but we have vets that we just got on the team that can't shoot. So let these guys shoot. Let Wayne Ellington come out and shoot.
Bobby Portis, he wasn't hitting his threes before, but
he wasn't, but he does know how to shoot.
How about
them.
Kevin?
So Kevin Knox, who I'm very happy with still, making those threes, and I want him to get those opportunities to keep shooting those threes right now, early in the season. Let him get comfortable.
Yeah.
Because if you don't let these guys play, they're not going to feel comfortable in crunch time. Not going to feel comfortable come January. Let them play now.
Let them play now. Speaking of comfortable and missing shots, Frank Ntilikina,
who scored 0 points by the way. However,
every time. I don't know how it keeps doing it.
When he is on the court, there is a huge difference with how the team plays.
Every time.
The team plays different when he's on the court.
It does completely.
He's a great defender. You see it.
Like
he creates plays and he creates points, even though he himself is not scoring. He creates it. And
listen,
you see it.
Frank is such a high IQ guy. The way he moves around the court, the things he does. He does every basic thing that you learn, the pure fundamentals. He does it all amazingly, exactly how he should do it. He'd be like the teacher's pet. In a sense, he's like not Fizz though, but a real teacher.
Apparently not.
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Fizz. Fizz, you know what?
Not.
Fizz, I will say this too with the lineup. Fizz got a little bit better today. We're gonna talk about that later. Keep it on Frank for now. Again, listen, didn't score, but he made such a difference. We were down 33-18, I think, after the first. Frank plays most of the second, and you really see the energy just pick up. Defense is infectious.
Yes.
Bobby Portis, the man of the hour, mentioned it a couple, when the Atlanta game in preseason when Frank did really well on Trae Young. He said, Frank, I didn't really know much about him, but this guy, he just hustles. He's a great teammate. And you can see Frank after the game. He's like a kid hanging around everybody.
And so happy. And you can see the team responding to him because the team knows how valuable he is. I think a lot of, I know there's a lot of Frank haters and a lot of Frank lovers at the same time. And people that love Frank clearly see his effort and clearly see how valuable he is as a member on the court. And he doesn't need to score. We don't need him to score. We do need other scorers.
That said, and that said, he did miss a couple of open shots, and you can see the garden with everybody.
Listen,
it's like,
if Frank even scored one point, the Garden would have actually gone crazy. They were chanting for him on Saturday. So the fans are definitely behind Frank, and they want to see him score. And
it's that effort.
Unfortunately, he didn't make those few nice open shots he had as well. And we were like jumping on the couch.
I mean, he did it too as a team, But listen, he made his impact today. You cannot tell me that he should not be playing. And I don't want to push him into a starting role or anything like that. But you are seeing a lineup where you're seeing RJ and Frank. And maybe Wayne Ellington, maybe Kevin Knox, maybe Bobby Portis.
They have a nice little camaraderie together.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. This is the thing, when Frank is in the game, and maybe it's a product of Frank not being a point guard that can just do everything.
Right.
They're forced to move the ball. It's almost like even if they want to, they have to.
Which is what we want.
And which is what we want. Right. And it's infectious, and you can see everyone getting involved. Let's talk about RJ. Let me just say this, because I'm looking at the stats now. Frank had 0 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 0 for 6 from the field, no blocks, no steals, 0 for 4 from 3, 3 turnovers.
His stats make him sound
so
no
bad,
sense. And it's not.
But then again, this is the thing, and this is the thing with him, is that you hope there'll be a point where the stats match up to what he's doing on the court. But you cannot tell me that he's not deserved minutes. You cannot tell me that. You cannot look at that game tonight and not see a big bump in energy. Right. Let's talk about RJ Barrett.
It's about RJ Barrett, who, by the way, played 40 minutes. That is 4-0.
Yeah, that's too much.
Too many minutes for him to be on the floor.
I know.
And I know we got a comment the other day saying that, what's wrong with these 19-year-olds? They can't play long minutes. Yeah, they can, but do you want him to get that tired this early in the season?
Yeah.
No.
How long is he going to do this?
It's not fair to him. How many minutes do they play in college? They don't play no 40 minutes.
No, they play a 40-minute game.
Okay.
So it's not even, they even get to 40.
So there you go.
They play 20-something minutes.
I didn't even know that, so that's what I'm learning. However, this kid had 19 points, 5 assists, and 15 rebounds.
Come on.
15 rebounds. That's
RJ
crazy.
is a better rebounder than Kristaps Porzingis. I'm going to put that out there. RJ just everywhere. And this game he struggled a little bit at times, had a couple turnovers, but he kept coming. I think that's the thing with RJ. No matter what.
And he's not phased.
My guy, stone-faced.
Yep.
And no matter what, he keeps coming. He keeps coming late in the game, making clutch plays. He gets to the rim at will. He hit his free throws late when the pressure was on.
Yep.
And I mean, you got to love this kid. And listen, the backcourt, Frank and RJ.
Le backcourt, they be speaking French.
Listen, they're both defending very well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're moving the ball. Frank just got to hit his shots, but this is the thing with Frank too, and we've seen this forever. His form is fine. I genuinely think if Frank gets a role and he knows he's going to play no matter what, and he keeps playing, he's going to hit those shots. Because he hit it for France. Also, and he hit it for the Knicks.
Right, and also if they let him play.
Yeah.
I really feel that in these last 3 years, he has yet to have an opportunity to actually play.
And not be worried.
Because here's the thing, it's a matter of it's mathematical odds, right? If you keep shooting, you are eventually going to score. And as Steffi said, shout out Steph, she said that, just try to shoot because it doesn't matter, no one else is scoring anyway.
Yeah, shout out to Steffi. She said on Twitter, I'll put her stuff on the screen, but she straight up said, everyone's missing anyway, Frank, so don't worry about it, just keep shooting.
Just keep shooting, we're here for you. Who else do you want to talk about tonight?
Julius Randle. So let's talk about Julius Randle. He's having some struggles. Tonight, I'm going to tell you what he was. Julius Randle was
getting into some fumble trouble. Like he seems to always get caught up with like 3-4 guys around him.
Yeah,
and he's trying to hold on to the ball.
Fighting
for the ball. It's like he's playing rugby. Like it's a whole different sport that's going on out there when he's on the court.
got an American football rugby player. That's hilarious. And Julius tonight, I'll let you know, he had 13 points, 14 rebounds, so he was active on the board. Love to see that as well. 5 assists, even though I'm going to talk about his passing as well. 5 for 13, not great. But regardless, and he had 8 turnovers. Jesus, that's insane. Bobby. Julius is handling the ball too much. But I will say this, especially when you see a night like this where things start to kind of click, I genuinely think Julius is going to get better as the team gets to know each other better and he trusts them more.
Right.
A couple times you could see him with the ball, like you said, stuck, and Bobby Portis was open in the corner.
Right.
And he couldn't see him a couple times. He's looking at the wrong side.
Right, so I feel as well that he doesn't have the awareness of where everyone is on the court.
Right.
And who and like you said, maybe it's because they don't know each other yet that well to know who he can throw it to. But I feel like you said, he gets stuck with the ball, doesn't know who to throw it to, doesn't know where to throw it, and doesn't even know where the guys are.
Right.
And that's why we're getting those turnovers, and that's why.
And he's dribbling too much, spinning into trouble. Four guys around him.
Yeah.
His assists have actually been pretty decent. So it's weird. It's like it's not like he doesn't have at least decent vision, but sometimes he definitely gets tunnel vision, and he can't see anything else but the basket. So I think I genuinely think, even though tonight he was really bad at times, I genuinely think he's going to improve on that end. Shout out to Kevin Knox tonight. 14 points off the bench, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 2 for 5 from deep, 40%, pretty decent. He's been shooting his 3 really well this season. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Kevin's looking better than Marcus Morris, I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah, so should he be starting?
Ooh, so let's get into the lineup.
Okay.
Good segue.
All right. So I like the lineup with Wayne Ellington on the floor. I like the lineup with Bobby Portis obviously on the floor.
Frank, RJ, and I think Julius has to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Julius has to play.
But that lineup was the lineup that spaced the floor.
Yeah.
And had some shooters.
Listen, I think between Knox, Portis, and Ellington, I almost feel like you might need 2 of them always on the court.
Right.
Now, Truier can shoot as well, and Dotson can shoot. We'll see if these guys work back in. Zoe didn't play tonight at all.
Right.
So that's something we'll see what happens. Fizz in his rotation just went all over the place. So something to see, but I think tonight just really, with the lineup, we really have to see Fizdale be consistent now going forward. I genuinely think you saw some things tonight that worked. And if Fizdale, he can't lose. He has to start winning. If he wants to win, there are things you saw tonight that it should make sense.
If he wants to stay with a job, then we need to win some games.
We need to win some games. And listen, there's something with that Frank, RJ, like you said, Frank, Ellington, RJ, Knox at times, Portis, you get some shooting. You can't do it all game because some of these guys can't defend. But what you see with Frank is even bad defenders, I thought today, were giving more effort. Because you're seeing a guy like Frank play like that.
Right.
It was a really, what a night at the Garden.
Oh man, I wish we were there. We were there Saturday, and tonight obviously that energy was crazy. And one thing I have to say, and this I know this will change as the season goes on. We can't always be the team coming from behind. We can't. We can't. It's like nerve-wracking for us, and it's like we get down to this last few minutes, and then we tie up the score, and then we get like a 1-point lead, and then as soon as we get that 1-point lead, then they score, and then we're like fighting neck and neck. And then we're winning by just like a little bit.
If we win.
But we're coming from behind. Let's change this up a little bit so we can not come from behind and come and be in front. And stay
Listen, I think like you said, it's so much effort to come from behind. So you finally get back. It's like almost a race, right? And you run extra fast to get to the guy who's been in front.
Right.
Once you get next to him, you gotta now keep it up.
Right.
And he's chilling because he's been doing it the whole time. So you're out of gas sometimes when it comes from behind. But listen, these guys got to get minutes, but the Knicks needed it for their morale. Couple notes. I want to talk about what happened over the weekend. I genuinely think the fans, the boos were not necessarily directed at Dennis Smith, but more at the decision to even play him. Clearly, he'd been ailing. Obviously, terribly sad news on Sunday, finding out that his stepmom has passed away, and apparently it was suddenly. Condolences out to him. They really supported him tonight. I loved it. You saw Mitch. He had his shoe. He had stuff on his headband.
Yeah, he did.
So,
when Dennis Smith Jr. comes back to the Garden, I think he's going to get a little standing O. Because I think the fans now, after that night happened, kind of realized that they maybe kind of went a little too far.
Yeah.
The dissing of DSJ, because that's what exactly it sounded like, whether you were at the game or on TV. And then the chanting for Frank, and then the chanting for
Taco at the end. It was all bad. It was
a very bad optical, visual. It was horrible. So I really think that DSJ needs some love when he comes back to the Garden, and I know the New York fans know how to do that, so let's rally for him.
That's right.
And as you said, condolences out to him and to his family.
Seems like he'll be out for a week, or we don't know. Let him deal with his stuff. Let him come back when he's ready, because that's one thing in him. You could see he wasn't all the way there. And then this happening was a lot for a young man. These guys are kids. You know, these guys are kids. They're dealing with it, but they're kids. But regardless, really nice win for the Knicks tonight. Solid, good win. They needed it. I think they go on the road to Orlando next.
Yeah.
So. At least from that next point of view, we can see if they can keep it going. Orlando's going to be a good defensive team. But we saw some things tonight, and I want to see Fizz take the things he saw tonight and start implementing it and making it part of the plan going
That's what
forward.
I want to see, because the one thing I will say that I saw in this game, even when we started off not so great, the one thing I did see was I started to see plays.
I
started to see systems. I wasn't seeing ISO ball. And even if we didn't win this game tonight, I was still happy with how the team executed plays. It seemed there was something actually going on, as opposed to the first 3 games where it was just like what the hell is going on.
I saw we saw some floppy, we saw some horns, we saw some actual things being run, and that's good to see. Terry and Trey, thanks for watching as usual. Peace out.
As always, thanks again for watching our video. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications. That way you'll know every time that we post a new video. And check out some of our other stuff.